落ち着いて。涙雨ヒュッヒュッ来るとは来る。生きるために立ちなさい。さようなら。燃やし尽く立ちなさい。さようなら。生きるために落ち着いて。涙雨来るとは来る。立ちなさい。さようなら。ロック以外本当に私のものなんて。研究は目覚ましい進展を見せています。
早く行こう。
落ち着いて。立ちなさい。全てが燃え尽きるまで。落ち着いて。涙雨来るとは来る。
あっちは俺様だけで十分だ。
さようなら。立ちなさい。全てが燃え尽きるまで。落ち着いて。涙雨ヒュッ来るとは来る。 何年も経つというのにラフの探偵士の景色は変わりませんね。誤解は不変であり、潮は満ち引きを繰り返している。私たち寿命族にとってこれほど懐かしいと感じる故郷はありません。
レイサさんはラフの地元民なのか？
はい、私は幼い頃からラフで育ち、探偵士でこの波の音を聞きながら死とともに探訪の研究に打ち込んでいました。この世は常に変化していますが、その変化の中にはたくさんの似ているものがある。
剣木がなければ。
そうですか。剣木があそこにそびえ立っているのはなかなか壮観だと思いますが。
壮観だとしてもあれは樹花の跡だからね。泉州と異見者は数千年も戦ってきた。剣木が再生したのを見て、きっとみんな心の中では不安に思ってるはずだ。
一度種がまかれた以上、どんなに阻止しようといずれ芽吹きの時はやってきます。薬王秘伝が再び現れたのと同じように、剣木の再生は避けられないことなのかもしれません。この種は泉州の祖先が調整を求めた時からまかれていたのですから。
Things are kind of smoothing along. We had over 1 million signatures. For those of you that don't understand exactly what this industry is about, Stop Killing Games is a movement that doesn't want big government to have control over everything on the planet. As it stood right now, most games that they sell you, they could end up pulling the plug on later. Later, after they sell you the game, they can pull the plug afterwards and poof, they can remove the game retroactively that you already purchased. And honestly, this is the communist movement that so many of these absolutely insufferable companies and governments are trying to move towards. There is this push to communism that is so frustrating. So I have to fight back because communism is not actually this. Communism is cringe, and I will stand by that every way I possibly can. All right?
俺は寿命族だが、ここにいる2人の仲間と同じくよそ者だ。レイサさんが求める治療法に口出しはできない。が、一つだけ忠告したいことがある。ラフの寿命族と探偵士は長らく密接な関係を築いてきた。探偵士の現状を変えるには、レイサさん自身双方から距離を取り、しっかり客観視する必要があるだろう。
政務のことはよくわからないけど、薬王秘伝はずっと探偵士の中で活動してきたらしいし、レイサさんがその影響を排除したいと思うなら、将軍と対策を練ってみるのはありかもしれないよ。
You own what you buy. All right, that is a biblical commandment. Anyway, moving on to more important things like, not making fun of women. Let's make fun of men. This is Pirate Software. He is also a wolf, but he is a different kind of wolf. All right, you see, this is literally sucking every stream out there in the entire industry. All right, the industry is out there. Their meat falls out, and Pirate Software is there to unlatch his jaw and shove that meat as far down as possible. He is a very large streamer on Twitch and also on YouTube, and this man has been crying constantly about the Stop Killing Games movement because, believe it or not, he is of the mindset that you will own nothing and you will be happy. You will own nothing and be happy. The government will take from you and destroy your life. All right, that's what this dude does on a daily basis. He cries and he whines and he, anyway, I don't like it personally because I don't like fake. You see, I made this a long time ago, all right? Long time ago, long before this went down. Every single time this dude gets dragged, it's because he'll smugly say some dumb ignorant shit, and even after getting exposed as a fraud, his ego will make him double and triple down until the end of time. Mark my words, this will keep happening, and if you've been marking my words, you'll notice that it kept happening.
私もそれ
And
に
you'll
巻き
notice
込ま
that
れ
it kept happening. He
ラ
keeps
フを
doing this
離れ
shit.
る
He
しか
keeps
ありませ
pulling
ん
this
でし
shit
た。
off. So Pirate Software responds to the Stop Killing Games initiative, reaching over a million signatures. You have to understand something
そして
important.
当時そ
The
の
Stop
件の
Killing
仲
Games
裁を担
initiative
い
needed to reach a million
追放令の
signatures
許可を
for the
出したのが
European Union
ケーゲン
to
将軍なの
actually
です。
consider it a relevant movement and discuss it on a legislative basis to prevent companies from
探偵士の状況
retroactively
がここまで
taking
悪化した
shit
のは
that they sell to you.
薬
I
王の
think
反
this
逆
is
者
a
だけの
colossal
せいではあ
W.
りません。
It's amazing. I know
かの
it's
親
reached a
戚
million
将軍
signatures, but a lot of the
今
signatures
回
are
の
likely
件
going to
に
be
対して
considered fraudulent signatures
責任
anyway.
を負う必要があります。
So linked in the description is the movement. If you're part of the European Union, you definitely sign. Everyone's on top of this, by the way.
あら、
We got
元気よ
Asmongold,
様。
Tectone, Moist Critical,
顔色を変え
PewDiePie,
て
Jack
どうしました？
Septiceye, everyone and their mother
安心し
came
てください。
together to push this
立場ある
movement, and it's
者は
actually working.
自由
So
に
shout
振
out
る
to
舞えない
Pirate Software. We couldn't have done it
と
without
いう
it
道
because
理は
if
分
not
かっ
for
て
him
るの
being
で
a complete retard.
将軍を恨んだりはしません。私たちのような年齢の大人にとって支援は贅沢なものですからね。
Going to be honest with you. I hope you're
レーサーお姉ちゃん、おかえりなさい。ずっと待ってたの。
How are you so insufferable? Oh my god! Why are you
ウンリ
fucking
どうして海援将軍のところじゃなくて
gigantic
探偵士にいるんです？
unbelievably gay
ちょうど
shit
よかっ
for
た。
real, for real.
紹介します
And
ね。
of course, obviously, you have to point out
こちら
how,
の元気
yes,
様は
he will just keep doubling down and tripling down till correct.
因縁の
Now,
相
of
手
course,
に
he's
は
getting
よ
sued,
く会うっ
obviously,
て
because
こういうことか。
why would he get sued? So this over here is
君、
Billy Mitchell.
今度こ
He is
そ
a
盗
video
んだ
game
剣を
pro.
返すんだ。
Also, he won a lawsuit against Carl Jobs, another YouTuber that slandered him. Basically, he says
なる
Pirate
ほど。
Software will be sued. Now, don't get me
紹
wrong.
介はしなくて良さそうですね。
なんでここであなたに会うわけ？もしかしてずっと私の後をつけてたの？
僕にはやらなきゃいけないことがあるんだ。ほっつき歩くのに忙しくて剣を返す暇もない君とは違ってね。
物は持ち主に似るっておじいちゃんが言ってた。私あなたの剣と話をしたんだ。そしたらあなたは心配事が多いせいでいつも剣を抜くのが遅くて、剣を抜いてもまともに扱ってくれないって嘆いてた。今改めてあなたを見て剣は嘘をついてないって分かった。私が剣を奪ったのはあなたが剣を大切にしてなかったから。
そんなデタラメ信じると思う？主命からの客人だからって何度も我慢したのに、君は少しも相手のことを考えないんだね。もしかして主命には他人のものを取ったら返すっていう常識がないのかな？
この被験を見て。今あなたに返したところでまたすぐ別の人に奪われちゃうと思うけど。運気軍は武器を手放してはならないって教えは聞いたことある？この場で剣を返すことはできるけど戦場ではそうはいかない。ああ、この被験本当にかわいそう。
分かった。もう返さなくていいよ。僕がなくした剣は自分の力で取り戻す。
ねえタンコ、こういう時にこんなこと言うの。今日は私が
分かった。
嫌というわけで私が受けた
それって意味物を切る。
意味物を始末するの。
自分だけ媚び。
二人とも思いやり。薬王秘伝があなたたちが腕くレーサーをね。ウンリ、これは二人のためでもあるんですよ。
やっぱり指定様は
どうです？
やっ。
Helps you foresee the future.
Are you all ready? Ugh. Looks like my predecessors left quite a mess. Let me say it again. The one who kills the most abominations within 15 minutes wins. Be careful when you draw your swords, and make sure you don't hurt each other. Can we...
Stand still. Time to say bye. Boom.
I didn't expect someone who can't even hold on to a sword to actually have some skill.
Still waters of oblivion. Relax. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. Stand still.
Get them!
Relax.
Into earth!
Time to say bye. Boom. Again.
Fiends or devils? I'll crush them all!
Stand still. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. Relax.
Bladed flight! Swords descend! Through clouds!
Time to say bye. Boom. Stand still.
Get them!
Relax.
Strike with heart!
Oh, not bad. Again. Didn't hurt. Time to say bye. Boom. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. Stand still.
Through clouds! I win, Miss Yun Li! You got lucky.
Why don't you just give me back my sword, sincerely apologize, and then go cry your eyes out to your grandpa? Consider yourself lucky that I'm not interested in your rusty sword, as I don't have the nasty habit of snatching other people's weapons.
All you did was... If you think you can just...
Well fought, my young friends. However, both of you have shortcomings. One of you focuses on dodging and weaving, while the other relies on brute strength, trying to take down targets with a single strike.
Who are you?
Me? I'm just a patient seeking medicine from the Alchemy Commission. A passerby, if you will. I thought I'd see my fill of impressive fights during the war dance. Yet here I am, able to witness a remarkable fight at the Alchemy Commission, of all places. Well, the Lawfu is never short of surprises. However, I have a small suggestion for you. Why don't you settle this dispute fair and square in the war dances ring? That way, you can resolve your differences with a proper duel and put your grudges behind you.
Grudges? No, not at all. Yunli and I, we were just sparring.
Sparring? You summoned your flying swords and she swung her sword with full strength. No grudges between you. I don't believe it.
Aha! What brings you here, Lady Fei Xiao? Have you finished your health consultation with the Dragon Lady?
Fei Xiao? The Merlin's Claw of the Xianzhou Yaoqing?
Looks like I'm quite famous on the Xianzhou Lawfu, too.
Of course. Everyone has heard of the Vanquishing General. Known to all and unbeknown to none.
Vanquishing General? Isn't that title a bit too narcissistic? I don't like it. Ooh, I heard there's a dozing general on the Lawfu. So I came up with a humble nickname for myself. The Lacking General. Lacking in worries, regrets, and rivals. Sounds much better, right?
Yeah, that's a befitting title that sounds both humble and impressive. Now that the sparring session is over, Yanqing and Yunli, shouldn't you politely thank General Fei Xiao for her guidance and bury the hatchet?
Here's your sword. Keep it safe. Or it might get taken away again. By the way, we haven't settled the score yet. I'll defeat you fair and square next time we fight.
This is how she apologizes? Now that I finally got my sword back, I should report to the seat of divine foresight. I'll take my leave, General Fei Xiao. Oh, by the way, Miss Linksha, if you've got some free time, I'd like to invite you to the seat of divine foresight for a chat with General Jingyuan. I think there's more to those personal grudges you mentioned earlier.
Thanks for stepping in, General Fei Xiao. Otherwise, I'd have had to knock them out with my incense.
Not at all. Just doing what you asked. How about we call it even as payment for the healer lady's consultation?
Sorry, but even a general needs to pay their bills. We don't do credit here. And let's not forget, you'd have been waiting decades for a chance to see the Dragon Lady if it weren't for me.
Well, you can always send the bill to the seat of divine foresight and say it's for mentoring those kids. After all, it was quite the effort splitting them up. I nearly had to get tough. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to find a spot and get some fresh air. Back already? You've met with Jingyuan and wandered around for a few hours. So, what do you think?
It appears that the Divine Foresight is using this war dance as a show of strength to convince everyone that the Lawfu is prospering after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis.
But... I know you're going to say but, right?
But the influx of people attending the war dance is like a breeding ground for disorder and rumors. One wrong move, and the Luofu could be in a world of chaos.
The Cloud Knights on the streets remain vigilant, so at the very least, General Jing Yuan is aware of this. As for other matters, I'm unable to say.
I'd prefer to be excused from future meetings with generals. I'm just a military healer. And now all of a sudden I'm thrust onto the center stage having cordial chats with two generals?
My work doesn't lend itself to being in the limelight either.
Just stop whining. At least you're in one piece, right? Before getting in touch with General Jing Yuan, I wanted to put aside my assumptions and see his momentum. That includes the overall bearing of the Cloud Knights on the street, what people are saying, and how those close to him behave.
The might of an army dwells not within its pawns, but within the force of its collective momentum. Recognizing this fact reveals the true measure of power. Thanks for enlightening me, General.
A perfectly clear statement turned confusing, thanks to your translation. You've made me lose my words now. Anyway, this is how I operate in battle, so you might as well get used to it.
Are you treating General Jing Yuan as your enemy?
The longest-serving general of the Xianzhou Luofu. Do you think he'd have only a few enemies?
By the way, General, you met the healer lady, yes? Could you show me the medicine she prescribed you?
Well, the healer lady couldn't do anything about my condition. She just told me to enjoy some tasty food.
So not even the famed healer lady could help? Don't worry. I'll fulfill my promise and find a way to cure you. Actually, I've found some leads.
Well, life and death, Jiao Chou. It's all predetermined. Upon starting my military career, I made a pledge that the rest of my life would be dedicated to being the Xianzhou spearhead. Life would be dedicated to being hunting down the abominations of abundance till the end. As long as I can fulfill that deep-seated desire. As long as I can fulfill. I don't care how long I live. As long as I can fulfill. I don't care. You asked if I view General Jing Yuan as my enemy. No. My real enemy has always been myself.
Enjoy some tasty food. So, what's for dinner tonight?
Jeez. You really know how to read the room, don't you?
You guys figure it out for yourselves. I'm due to catch up with an old war friend I've not seen for quite a long time.
Hey! Was that the Yaoqing general who just dropped in out of nowhere? Oh, she's so awesome! I mean, when Yun Li swung that massive sword, she just casually blocked her attack with ease.
Mine too.
Yeah. But to go up against Yun Li is quite impressive, you know? That aura of heroism and grace, it almost makes me want to learn Xianzhou swordplay. You think so too, right?
I agree. General Fei Xiao is indeed impressive. I was talking about Yanqing, actually.
Thanks for the kind words, Miss March. The war dance is coming up, and I've been chosen to represent the Cloud Knights in the ceremony. I've had my fair share of defeats lately, and even though I know there are always more skilled swordmasters out there, seeing General Fei Xiao's skills today has made me feel a bit uneasy again.
Don't underestimate yourself. After all, generals won't fight in the ring during the war dance. Just remember the state of mind you had when you single-handedly took on me and Blade, putting life and death aside. With that mindset, you can prevail against most challengers.
But this is not Honkai, in fact.
I see. Thanks for the advice, Master Dan Heng. By the way, now that today's events are over, General Jing Yuan wants to invite all of you to the seat of divine foresight. He has something important to discuss.
Tired, I didn't sleep enough. No, I didn't feed. Do you have work? I'm so sorry, bro. Get some sleep. I've been lurking. Please get some sleep, okay? Please, just get some sleep. It's, I don't know, I think it's very, very early for you over there. Just get some sleep. You need it. Okay, maybe Lumine is the master. Since she went to the journey was already. Maybe. Heavenly Principal is Traveler himself. The sibling somehow stole a portion of his control over his FBI and returned the absolute authorities to collect all the evidence, fuse them together for our to operate. Now it's very sibling. Big of all these siblings corrupted.
Lives us all equally.
I have no idea.
Yet Brooks not a second to be reclaimed.
I bet it's about how to deal with the generals from the Yao Qing and the Zhu Ming.
So these ladies are enemies of the Heavenly Principal.
I really don't want to get
That's what
caught
y'all
up
are
in
telling me.
grown-up games so soon. I just hope Generals Fei Xiao and Hua Yan can see the truth. We don't need any more chaos in the Luofu before the war dance.
That makes sense.
No. This looks more like Rheindatter's doing.
I don't know. It looks like they're all in cahoots to me.
Please don't litter other people's
Why are they
spaces
trying to
with
find
your
her? Why do they
bizarre
think that?
creations.
One day said maybe she switched.
Unsurprisingly, all life here has been rendered unstable, tainted by the ruler of space. I have seen enough to know that
They are
repeating
saying
this
that it's time they
experiment would be fruitless.
I think they're all done.
You seem to wield my power as if it were nothing but a plaything for your amusement. Although merging with you has stripped me of agency, I shall still continue to voice my disapproval.
My dear Rheindatter, you have my respect, Nibirius.
Earlier at
Your
the Palace of
nagging is
Astral,
one of the only
I
things
introduced
that
these
can get
guests
under
from
my
the
skin.
Astral Express to you, Elder White. But with all the people around, we only exchanged pleasantries. Now, I'd like to
And
officially
you,
introduce them to you.
Well, perhaps you could share your input a little.
These three braved great dangers, accompanying me to perilous places, defeating the chief culprit Vantilia, and uncovering the conspiracies of the disciples of Sanctus
It's time I
Medicus.
put this space out of its
If you wish to know more, please, feel free to ask us.
Well, I skimmed through the reports about the Arbor's rebirth from the Master Diviner Hu Xuan. She's been summoned to the Yuchue for questioning. There are a lot of doubts within the Alliance about this whole situation. But despite all that, I believe in you.
Just a formality.
Since you joined the ranks, you have
here.
repeatedly achieved
I, for
remarkable
one,
feats.
think that we should find her.
After the High Cloud Quintet
Since
each
the
went their
Heavenly
separate
Principles
ways,
cast us
despite
as
the many
shades,
criticisms
not
within
one
the
of us has
Alliance,
ever missed a
the
meeting.
Marshal still stood firm
if
against the dissenting voices and entrusted the Lawful to
She
you.
just switched sides.
Over the years, you've
Finding
served
her
the
would do
Alliance
more
with
harm than
loyalty and wisdom. You've taken down
Now there's an
abominations in
interesting
Thalassa,
idea.
rescued the Xianzhou Yuchui from a siege, and destroyed the demonic planet summoned by the denizens of abundance.
You make it sound like such a trivial
I
affair.
still remember those battles
We are
vividly.
shades, shadows of the heavenly
There are
principles.
fools who
It's
doubt your
unthinkable.
loyalty.
Unless
They're happy to see the divine foresight fail because it gives them some kind of sick satisfaction. They haven't achieved anything of their own.
Do you know that
They feed off the failures of others. But I've seen enough failures in my time, and I want to believe that your loyalty has never wavered.
it was the extent permitted by.
So, General Fei Xiao of the Yaoqing is the only one investigating the Ambrosial Arbor crisis on behalf of the Alliance?
And yet... No.
Lives will be
lost.
too. A nation brought to ruin.
This old man's words always catch me off guard.
I have not endured.
The Marshal ordered me to come to the Xianzhou Law.
I already know.
The document only says, attend the war dance and listen to Fei Xiao's questioning.
Stays. Her Majesty.
Return to your post.
Don't post it.
Not cry. Whatever it takes.
No need for that. You're all important witnesses. The Marshal is well aware of Jing Yuan's purpose in holding the ceremony, and understands the situation he is facing. She mentioned it because she believes both issues are important.
Thanks for your kindness and sincerity, Elder Huai.
Genshin dropped the god
But is it appropriate to tell everyone here about the Marshal's orders?
This world.
By introducing the Express's witnesses to me alone, aren't you aiming to discern the intentions behind both my actions and Fei Xiao's?
By their
Whether
own
there's any discord
consent.
between us? Well,
Death
I'm being
abides no
open and
reason.
honest with you.
For it
Encourage you
cannot
young
be
folk
defied,
to do the same.
even by those who
As
see
for
it
the
coming.
Ambrosial Arbor crisis,
what the
all
hell,
I need
dude?
to
Time
do is listen.
abides no reason.
General Fei Xiao will be the one asking the questions. To be honest. Oh, by the way. Yes, it's this case right here. There will be numerous contests and celebrations during the war dance, and the main event will be the ringmaster. The host will dispatch a skilled warrior to take on challengers from all over the cosmos, showcasing the excellent martial arts of the Xianzhou Laofu. When you mentioned that the Astral Express would be attending the ceremony, I thought the High Elder of the Laofu would be the ringmaster.
You humor me, Elder Huai. The healer lady is just a young lady who knows nothing about martial art.
I'm no match to you when it comes to joking.
What's this box for? Why don't you open it, General Huai?
This sword case is intended. I don't mean to boast about our skills, but this sword represents the pinnacle of the Zhuming's craftsmanship. It has a legendary history, full of heroic tales from foreign lands, tales that are too detailed to be summarized in just a few words. Since I've been wondering who would be worthy of such a sword. And then it hit me. I can award it to the champion of the Ringmaster's Challenge. The ceremony's champion is sure to be a perfect match for the sword. Moreover, I hear that Yanqing is an excellent swordmaster, and that he will be representing the Lawfu as the ringmaster. So it seems like a perfect gift for him.
Thank you for your generosity, Elder Huayan.
If you want to give me a sword, just say the word, Grandpa. No need to beat around the bush.
You've got confidence, my girl, but I don't think you can best Yanqing.
I know you're all about swords, Miss Yunli. It's just a shame that it's the sword that ultimately chooses its rightful master.
Yeah, and even if someone gets their hands on such a precious sword, it'll probably end up in someone else's.
The outcome of our duel at the Alchemy Commission is still up in the air. Since you're interested, why don't you represent the Xianzhou Jiming and challenge me in the ring?
That's exactly what I had in mind. Nobody knows who's gonna come out on top. It could be me, could be someone else. It'll probably be me. But whatever happens, it won't be him.
Not to be rude or anything, we've been watching their drama. I'm dying to find out who beats who.
Quiet down. We have other guests here. I've prepared this sword to add some excitement to the ceremony, not to have you two squabble. It's not a good look for the Alliance. While you both seem confident that you'll win, you need to remember there can only be one winner and one loser in the ring, which could lead to hard feelings. Actually, I have an idea. We don't know who the winner will be, and it might not be either of you. But if you're eyeing that prize, you'll need to work together.
How does that make sense?
In my humble opinion, I'd be greatly pleased.
Well, Elder Huayan's idea is quite interesting. Imparting swordplay skills requires teamwork, and both the winner and the loser will learn a valuable lesson regardless of the outcome. The question is, whom should the two of them take as an apprentice?
Huh? Who? Wait, me?
I noticed just now that Miss March seemed quite interested in the outcome of your sword fight. So I thought, why not teach her the art of swordplay?
Oh, wait! Are you serious, General? Why am I being dragged into this all of a sudden? I've never practiced swordplay before. I'm a total newbie. You really think I can learn it? Well, you'll probably realize I have no hope and give up on me. And that'd be so embarrassing.
Your talent is quite unique. Are you also interested in swordplay? But you know, based on my years of judging people, you don't really need to dive into swordplay to boost your skills. And I doubt there's anyone out there who can really show you the way forward. As for Miss March, she's like a piece of jade in the rough, just waiting to be shaped.
I appreciate your kind words, General Huayan. But won't teaching me swordplay be a waste of Yanqing and Yunli's time? They should be preparing for the ceremony. Oh, plus, I heard that each sword master has their own special moves. What if they let something slip while teaching me? If everyone knows each other's tactics, won't that mean everyone's stuck in a stalemate and unable to end their fights during the war dance?
That's considerate of you, March 7th. But don't worry. It'll take you at least a decade of hard training before you can even start learning special moves. No need to freak out. A few Juming swordplay tricks will mean you'll be more than equipped.
Really?
Looks like March's curiosity has been piqued.
The whole point is to know each other's moves. Defeating your opponent in just one move? How boring would that be? Plus, what really decides a swordsman's fate isn't some special move. It's the solid fundamentals.
So Miss Yunli has already agreed. What do you say, Yang Qing?
General, I haven't graduated yet. How can I be qualified to teach swordplay to others?
So you're admitting your defeat, huh? If you're not even confident to teach, why don't you let me be the ringmaster instead?
Yang Qing, teaching an apprentice is also a way of honing your own skills and gaining insights. You've been an apprentice for years. It's about time you looked at swordplay from another perspective.
I see, General. Then count me in.
Now that Yang Qing has agreed too, it all comes down to Miss March giving her nod.
It's up to you to make the final decision, March.
I understand. Then I'm on board. Thank you for your kindness, General Huaiyan.
Great! Starting tomorrow, Yanqing and Yunli will teach you the basics of the Cloud Knight's swordplay. Yunli and I will head out and purchase some sword practice equipment for Miss March. Think of it as a little initiation gift.
You're too kind. Oh, wait, you're giving me a gift? Shouldn't it be the other way around? General Huaiyan's gone. Wait, why does something feel off about what we talked about? I think we strayed off topic. How did things
Yeah, I brought you here because the General said he had some important matters to—
Because... But from his point of view, since the crew's actions were mentioned in the Luofu's operations log that was given to the Alliance, he probably wants to see firsthand if we're as capable as the report claims, or if we're just some made-up excuse to save face. And he wants to see it for himself during the war dance, which is why he even dragged Yunli into this. What began as a simple contest between two sword masters has now evolved into you two collaborating to mentor March.
Elder Huaiyan is still that tricky general who likes to give everyone a headache. My apologies. Truth be told, I invited all of you to the ceremony because I wished for you to act as my witnesses. Now, I apologize for not disclosing this information earlier. In the coming weeks, I'll also invite all of you to a meeting with General Fei Xiao, where you may need to answer her questions and clear up any doubts she might have. So please, be prepared for the meeting.
Don't worry, General. No matter what happens, I'm prepared to stay here as the Express's witness.
Thank you, everyone.
General, I know there isn't much I can do to share your burden, but... As the Luofu Ringmaster, I won't let anyone defeat me in the war dance.
I know.
The illustrious Merlin's Claw waiting for me? And for so long, too? It's quite an honor. It's been a while, General Fei Xiao.
It's been 30 years since we last saw each other. Right, Yukong?
Yes. Back then, you were the vanguard of the Yao Qing's Verdant Knights. And I was a pilot of the Law Fu's Rainbow Fall Fleet. Who would have thought that upon meeting again, you'd be a general, and I'd have given up flying? Really does feel like a lifetime ago. Well, I wouldn't say I haven't seen you in 30 years. After all, your great victories are announced through the Yellow Bell resonance system every day. So I'm well aware of your great feats. How's your health holding up?
Still stable, I suppose. Do you still remember the medic who saved me in battle?
That healer with the odd name and peculiar temperament. What was his name again? Was it Pichu? Or Kachio?
Jiao Chou. He's been my retainer and personal healer, delegated by the Alchemy Commission from the Xianzhou Yao Qing. Over the years, he's dedicated himself to managing my condition. It's thanks to him that I'm still in good health today. Given my background, I'm happy to have made it this far.
I'm relieved to know that you're safe and sound. Well then, since you and Elder Huayan are here, I imagine you must have received orders from the Marshal? As your friend, may I ask how the Alliance intends to punish the General of the Lawfu?
The Arbor's rebirth has frightened the Elders who lurk behind the scenes. They fear the resurgence of abominations, much like what happened 30 years ago. Although the report from the Lawfu explained all the details, we don't know if the Ruin Legion really invaded, or how exactly the Stellaron Hunters and the Astral Express became involved. This puzzle has many missing pieces. As you know, the fugitive Jing Liu, who mysteriously disappeared many years ago, has resurfaced. This time, she has brought along an Outworlder and a coffin, claiming to offer the Marshal a method to fight against the Eons. The Lawfu Preceptor has also leveled accusations against Jing Yuan for neglecting the Alliance's principles. She asserts that Jing Yuan enabled the exiled Imbibitor Lunae to re-enter the Lawfu, thereby unlocking the luminescent depths within Scale Gorge Waterscape, which in turn disrupted the Vidyadhara's dutiful watch over the Ambrosial Arbor. It is for these reasons I have come here to the Lawfu today.
What the hell is going on, bro?
Well, duty calls. Perhaps I shouldn't have mentioned all this to an uninvolved person, but since we once fought together, I didn't want to keep you in the dark.
Damn!
Perhaps pretending you didn't hear any of this would be for the best.
I understand. I'm sorry. I was out of line. I know I shouldn't be defending General Jing Yuan right now, but... well, you know how I am. The Lawfu has enjoyed centuries of stability since the end of the sedition of Imbibitor Lunae, much of which can be attributed to General Jing Yuan's masterful strategizing. Unfortunately, for long-life species, enduring through the ages always culminates in a failure that undoes all previous achievements. A moment that our adversaries relish.
Repeating this experiment
That's true. And that's why I'm also here for another purpose.
Can you
to visit Hule.
You seem to wield my power as if it
You
were
mean that
nothing
Hule?
but a plaything for
Boris
your
Conrad?
amusement.
The same Hule who has been imprisoned in the shackling prison for over 7 centuries?
I still continue to voice my
The
disappointment.
nemesis of the Foxians who will never be forgiven and shall be imprisoned until the end of the cosmos.
And shatter. It was career suicide. This
I
is some
can't quite
Skull
remember
and
the
Bones
exact
Society
wording,
stuff.
but
It's time
yes,
to spill the
the
truth.
very same.
This is.
Usually, only emissaries from the Xianzhou Yao Qing Skyfaring Commission visit him once every century. Why do you have to visit him now, of all times?
The Foxians and the Alliance made a pact to combat the abominations, aiming to achieve justice and free their kin. That werewolf monster is to be forever imprisoned in the dark recesses of the Shackling prison, facing unending retribution. Given the situation on the Lawfu, those on the Yaoqing are concerned about Hulei's imprisonment. I'm afraid that the routine visit every century is no longer sufficient to ease their concerns. That's why I was sent here, to reassure them.
It's all bad news.
Well, not everything. There might be a silver lining. Oh, by the way, I found some clues about the thing you asked for.
Tell me more.
The Verdant Knights followed the route you mentioned and discovered the wreckage of the Whistling Flame ship. Unfortunately, there were no survivors and no cargo. However, someone had already been on the scene before we arrived.
Our people? Or someone from the IPC?
Dude, that's Rhindonner and the bear.
No.
Oh my god,
Neither.
wait, that is
My
so
dear
cool.
Rhindonner. No history
Yukon.
after all.
Have you heard of a person named Ron May?
Power that the shit. My
I,
god.
for one, think that we should find her. Since the Heavenly Principles cast us as shades, not one of us has ever missed a meeting.
Oh shit, and now that's what it is.
Which sides?
Ooh.
Did I oversleep? Where did March and Don Hong go?
There you are.
Well, it was a promise to General Huayan after
Finding
all.
her would do
I
more
woke up
harm than
especially
good.
early, so I can start teaching Miss March swordplay.
Now there's an interesting idea. Better than being devoured.
Hey, why are you blushing,
Just
Master
switch
Yanqing?
sides.
Bro,
This is,
way
the
Rhindonner
first
is the
time
most
someone has
badass
called me
sinner we've
master.
Ever fucking known,
I
bro.
need
It's
to,
insane.
get
She's
used to
literally
it.
hanging out with the
You make it sound like such a trivial affair.
I guess
Let
she
me
is a
make
shade
it
now,
clear.
technically, as well.
Swordplay training is about
Shadows of
improving
the
your
Heavenly
body,
Principles.
mind, and strength.
It's unthinkable.
It's not a casual game
Unless-
you can master overnight.
She loves her new master more than her
Promise
own
General
self.
Huayan that I teach you Cloud Knight swordplay, so you can participate in the war dance and defeat at least one
Who the hell
opponent.
could the new master be?
I'll
Wait
do
a
my
minute.
best.
Oh,
But
Jesus
if you
Christ.
break your
Okay,
master's
so
rules,
I have two instant thoughts right now. Literally instant thoughts. New master for Asmodee could easily be.
Is it too late
people,
for
in my opinion.
regrets?
Could be
I'm
the Traveler.
already regretting
Asmodee
my
could be Pylon,
impulsive
but that's a theory
decision.
that people have had since the beginning of goddamn time itself.
But honestly, I'm
listen,
not sure
with the
what
time
I'll do
shenanigans
either,
going on right now,
because I've never
especially
been a
in the Last
teacher
Rise where
before.
we literally met,
So, Miss March,
we meet in the
please
past,
behave and
right?
don't skip classes.
And
Or complain.
obviously we're bringing stuff back from the past. It's like
You
my
need to
theory
toughen
for the
up and
longest
train her
time is that
properly,
Asmodee has
Master
always been
Yanqing.
corrupted and actually been a good
Don't go
person.
easy on
And
her.
Dainsleif at the end of the Teyvat
You're
chapter
so
storyline preview,
heartless.
where he's like,
By
I
the
remember how
way,
much she too
where's
loved
Yun
these
Li?
flowers, and is talking about
I've
like
found a quiet
show-
spot in
show
the
me
back
that-
garden of the Palace of Astrum for our first lesson together.
Seriously? It's the first day, and you two are already late? Why is everyone on the Lawfu so laid back? So disappointing. Master Yun Li, you're already here. Sorry for keeping you waiting. Oh, wait. Were you trying to teach her in secret? That's sneaky.
I'm just showing you what Lafu etiquette is all about. She might be my apprentice, but it's customary for the master to personally escort their apprentice to the place of learning. As the host, I'll be teaching Miss March the essence of Lafu swordplay, after which she'll emerge victorious in the war dance ring. You won't be complaining about Lafu swordplay then.
Stand aside, rookie. Let me show you how we Ju-Ming sword masters treat their apprentices. Quickly, over here, Miss March. This is a reverse mentorship gift from me to you. I hope you put it to good use.
What's this? Xianzhou clothing? It's so beautiful!
Sword practice requires precise movements. This outfit is tailored to fit perfectly and allows for smooth movements. I even added some small accessories. I put a lot of thought into it.
You're awesome, Master Yun Li!
See? See? How can you compete with me? I'll teach March 7th the essence of Ju-Ming swordplay so she can win the contest with my sword skills.
Actually, I've prepared something too.
Huh? You have a gift for me too, Master Yanqing?
Since you want to learn swordplay, Miss March, you'll need suitable weapons. So, I went out of my way to prepare a pair of swords overnight. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to ask the craftsman to customize the swords for you. But I did my best to choose ones that look nice and are suitable for a beginner. I hope you like them, Miss March.
Thank you, Master Yanqing!
Bet you didn't see that one coming, did you, Yun Li?
The real competition is just getting started.
I'm so lucky to have two great masters. But why does it feel like things are getting a bit weird? So what do you think, masters? Does this outfit suit me?
Perfect. I chose it carefully. It's perfect for beautiful young swordswomen like you and me.
All right, let's get started with the training. The person next to me is a Cloud Knight instructor I brought in. For your first lesson, try exchanging a couple of moves with him.
Wait. We're having actual combat training for the first lesson? Isn't that a bit too intense?
Well, I heard you have some experience with archery and martial arts. The first thing we're going to do is see just how strong your fundamentals are. Come on, step forward and strike with the sword in the most natural way you can think of. It's important for us to grasp your natural movements so we can decide where to start and what you need to learn.
If you're ready, let's begin.
Okay.
Well, I heard. Come on. Step.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Then I apologize.
I could take 10 of you. Please,
close attention, Miss March. Lawfu swordplay is all about being swift, agile in your movements. Swords descend!
Yes, you! Ignore him. Strength is like this?
Well done!
Bladed flight! Right on time.
Time for swordplay!
Strike! Mountains! Oh, I'm starting to get the hang of it! Awesome! With a true heart and focused mind, here I come! Yes, you! Right on time! Slap! Descend to earth! Oh, come on! Here you go, Master! Yes, you! Time to show you what I can really do! Azure Dragon, White Tiger, less cards! What's this? What are you mumbling about? Isn't this, sword technique? Shouldn't I be saying something cool? I didn't
Miss March has quick hands and a flexible body. She's a perfect fit for practicing Lawfu sword.
However, she lacks strength, and her strikes were a bit unfocused. But don't worry, it's totally normal for beginners. Once she starts practicing Juming swordplay, she'll make heaps of progress.
Given the situation, I believe Miss March should start by working on her strength.
Seriously, do you actually know anything about swordplay, or what?
I could ask you the same thing. Dual swords require agility. So what's more important than footwork?
Instead of focusing on her strengths, we should address her weaknesses. The drawback of wielding two swords is not generating enough force. What good is being quick on your feet if you don't have strength? It's not like we're dancing here.
Skilled sword masters know how to play to their strengths and work on their weaknesses. Start with what you're good at, then tackle your weaknesses. That's the right way to learn.
You're quite the theorist, huh?
Theorist? You claim to be able to talk to swords. So what does that make you? A lunatic?
Hey, it's only my first lesson, and you're already arguing. Come on, calm down, masters. I'll have to improve both my footwork and strength anyway, so it doesn't matter which one comes first.
But it does matter. Just listen to me, March 7th.
Aww.
pom-pom. We're all good here on the Xianzhou Lafu, so no need to worry. By the way, how's your trip going? As for me, I've somehow become the apprentice to 2 Cloud Knight sword masters, and I've been honing my sword skills with their guidance. One of them is Yanqing, the boy we've all met before. The other is Yun Li, the granddaughter of General Hua Yan from the Xianzhou Juming. Both masters are super strict, giving me a real taste of how hard sword training can be. I tried to drag her into this, but she refused. Then I tried to rope Dan Heng in, but Master Yanqing wouldn't have it. Still, you didn't let the difficulty get to me. In just a few weeks, my sword skills have improved a lot. Both my masters think I have unique talents in swordplay, and are literally fighting each other to teach me their skills. Thanks to their guidance, we've actually made some progress. When I get back to the Express, I'll definitely show off my skills and impress you all. Looking forward to your reply. Yours, March 7th.
Well done! I'll call it a day.
Miss March's sword skills are really coming along. She'll hold her own just fine in the war dance.
Just you wait and see. I'll show off my skills in the ring and win a match. I'll make both of you proud.
Can you believe it? March 7th has actually become a pretty decent swordmaster in such a short time. Now I understand why Grandpa always had a grin on his face while training me.
Are you sure he wasn't laughing at you?
Oh, shut up!
It's all thanks to your amazing guidance, Masters.
Miss March, you're really getting the hang of wielding dual swords. If you're keen on advancing, trying out different Xianzhou blades can improve your touch.
Let me see. Which sword is the most powerful? Single sword? Great sword? Or maybe a flying sword?
There's no such thing as the most powerful sword. It's all about the skill of the swordmaster. Yanqing wields several flying swords, while I only wield one. So remember how I kicked his butt at the alchemy commission?
My butt. Second, you'll never kick my butt. Third, how about we settle this right now and see who kicks whose butt?
Yeah, I'm up for that. And if I kick your butt, you'll drop out of the war dance. Deal?
two arguing again? I thought things had been improving between you lately.
There was talk that the leading disciples of the Law Fu and Juming generals were supposed to face off in the war dance, but for some reason, they suddenly teamed up to train an apprentice of their own. Turns out, the rumors are true. Tomorrow is the big day of the war dance. Shouldn't you two be focusing on honing your skills instead of teaching swordplay here?
You're... Oh, that's right. You're the pink-haired fox from the Yaoqing.
This is Mr. Jiaoqiu, the healer working for the general of the Xianzhou Yaoqing.
Ah, got it. So, you're the participant attending the war dance on behalf of the Yaoqing. And you were trying to sneak a peek at our training?
Sorry for the misunderstanding. I don't know anything about martial arts. I'm just here on the General's orders to take care of some official business. I didn't mean to interrupt your training. I'll be on my way.
If you know nothing about martial arts, why were you smirking earlier?
Well, my curiosity got the better of me, I suppose. When I heard Miss March's pondering about what to learn, couldn't help but wander over. From my professional experience, cleavers, slicers, chopping knives, and carving knives are all just tools. Kind of like frying, sautéing, boiling, and deep frying and cooking. They're just ways for people to show off their skills. How you use them really depends on the ingredients you're working with. It's like your sword teaching methods. If you align your ingredient, in other words, your apprentice's natural tendencies, with the right cooking method, by which I mean the teaching method that best suits her, she'll make double the progress, half the time. For example, golden eggplant tastes best when fried. Cloud peppers when stir-fried, and yellow boulder beef when simmered. It's all about discovering the nature of the ingredients. I mean, apprentice.
All this talk about food is making me hungry.
Are you a healer? Why are you talking about food?
Well, it's just a metaphor. The medicinal school I follow on the Senjo Yaoqing is called the Rancha School. It specializes in food therapy. So it's only natural that I know a thing or two about cooking.
So, you're the General's cook?
I'm a healer. But anyway, a cook who isn't interested in health doesn't make for a good advisor. Fine. Call me a cook if you want. Seeing the way you're looking at me, it's obvious you think I'm just some feeble academic who likes to blabber on about martial arts. But, in reality, I know a thing or two about killing. After all, the art of healing inherently encompasses both life and death.
Seriously? Trying to save face in front of kids? Ugh.
Do you recognize this bottle of medicine in my hand?
No.
This is called tumble dust, an extract from an exotic flower named Yabra.
Is it poison?
Well, it depends on how it's used. With just one drop, it's able to numb a patient's body during surgery, making them painless throughout the entire process. However, increase the dose or the potency, and it'll slow the metabolism, making the blood thin and resulting in the loss of all senses. Even long-life species cannot escape its effects. This thing can save lives or take them. It's more powerful than the swords in your hands.
That may be so, but still, I prefer settling things with a sword than, you know. Huh. Looks like I did get you all wrong. You're not a feeble scholar. but a sinister and despicable one.
Hey, why the insults all of a sudden? I'm just sharing some medical knowledge here, not persuading you to poison anyone.
Seems like you get real excited when talking about poison. I can't tell if that's an honorable thing or sinister.
Picture this. 2 individuals. The one standing is full of malice. The other lying down is honorable and righteous. How can the one who's lying down label the one standing as sinister? In the throes of combat, where life and death hinge on a singular moment, every idea fades into nothingness. The only thing that matters is staying alive. Surviving the battlefield reshapes all notions of worth, be it integrity or treachery. In my eyes, their significance is negligible.
Perhaps you've underestimated Yunli and me, Mr. Jiaoqiu. We may be young, but we've seen our fair share of war.
Well, then you should know that the war dance is nothing more than a contest. So why are you so focused on it?
When I was appointed as the ringmaster for the war dance, I asked the general, we Cloud Knights are supposed to charge into the fray and slay enemies. Why do we have to swing swords in a ring just to please an audience? And this is how the general replied. To unsheath your sword in a ring is no different than on the battlefield, as your sword reveals the might of all Cloud Knights. The war dance is the perfect chance to showcase martial virtue and forge alliances from all over the cosmos. When we unsheath the sword without drawing blood, we not only display our might, but also the martial virtue of the Cloud Knights.
That's quite an insightful statement, Chi. Well, my apologies for being so short-sighted. I've been on the Lawfu for quite some time, but I haven't had the chance to see the ceremony venue for myself yet. Hearing you speak so highly of it has piqued my curiosity. Would you mind showing me around?
You want to see the skyscraper ship where the war dance will be held? Let's go! I bet Yunli and Miss March haven't seen it either, right? Well then, I'll give you all a tour. Let's go. I'll give you a tour of the Sky Splitter.
Looks like a lot of other visitors have also come to catch a glimpse of the Sky Splitter.
What's up, Mr. Jiaoqiu?
No, it's nothing.
Do you see that airship in the distance? That's the Sky Splitter, the venue for the war dance ceremony.
It doesn't look all that impressive from this distance.
The Sky Splitter is actually a decommissioned Lawfu military vessel. People aren't allowed on board until the war dance officially commences. Tomorrow, when the bell rings and the ceremonial cannons roar, I'll be there representing the Cloud Knights of the Xianzhou Luofu, standing in the ring, ready to take on challengers from all over the cosmos. Since I was a kid, I've been training in swordplay and the art of war under the general. Every day, I'd swing my sword 10,000 times, and then thrust it 10,000 times, repeating the process over and over. I understand that I'm not like other kids. I never envied the toys and freedom they all had. I never found sword practice boring or hard. Even in the thick of battle, facing down savage abominations, I never felt scared. Each day, I could feel myself getting stronger and stronger, and I racked up countless victories. It's the best feeling in the world. But then, I faced a really tough opponent, and just one slash shattered my confidence into 1,000 pieces. That's when I felt true fear for the first time. Maybe that's what Mr. Zhao Cho meant by life and death hinge on a singular moment. Every idea fades into nothingness. After that, I had to pick up the pieces and try to put myself back together. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't seem to find my old happy self again. I often ask myself, why do I wield my sword? If defeat is inevitable, why do I continue to fight? Is it to reclaim the joy of victory? To meet the General's expectations? Or to secure my honor among the Cloud Knights? While the General could teach me the art of swordplay, he couldn't teach me why I should keep on going. He said the reason must come from within myself. I've been struggling to find that reason. But after talking with you, Mr. Zhao Cho, I think I already have that reason in mind. As a member of the Cloud Knights and the General's apprentice, I've had a weight on my shoulders. And I know there's still more to shoulder. But when I wield my sword, it feels like I'm letting go of everything. I love the feeling of giving it my all, facing any obstacle in front of me, pressing forward. That's why I wield my sword.
Oh, Yenqing. So young, yet so grown up. By the way, how old are you exactly?
Age doesn't really matter. All sword masters will understand how I feel.
I get it. Looks like all the kids on the Luofu live tough lives. So, how about you, Miss Yunli?
It's not polite to ask.
I'm not asking your...
You don't talk like a cook. You sound more like a TV host or something.
Need I repeat myself again? I'm a healer.
Well, I don't have a dream like Yenqing does. The only reason I'm participating in the Ringmaster's Challenge is because I made a promise to my grandfather. I want to win the precious sword he's contributed to the war dance.
Sounds like that mind of yours is just filled with swords.
I bet you've got nothing better on your mind. My father was a craftsman on the Xianzhou Juming. Because of his foolishness, many innocent people fell victim to the cursed swords he forged. Since I was a kid, it's been clear to me that not everyone deserves to have a weapon in their hands. Giving them a sword is no different than being cruel to the innocent. So, whenever I come across someone unworthy of a sword, I can't help but want to take it away from them. Given that Yanqing is the war dance ringmaster, I'm stepping up to challenge him. To ensure the precious sword doesn't fall into the hands of an unworthy master.
Hey, what do you mean by an unworthy master?
I see. It's not easy for kids on the Juming either. Well, it's better to have a reason for wielding a sword than to be lost and confused. I've saved countless Cloud Knights in my life, and there are plenty of exceptional warriors, just like the two of you.
What happened, Mr. Zhao Cho?
Oh, nothing. I was just reminded of some old friends and old tales. Judging from my professional perspective as a healer, both of you possess remarkable vitality. Your energies flow like raging fires and mighty gales. The upcoming fight will definitely be impressive. Well, we've seen the Sky Splitter and toured the Stargazer Navalia. I guess it's time to say goodbye for now.
What? You're leaving already? But you haven't asked me about my dreams. I've been working hard too, you know.
It's getting late, Miss March. Unlike you lot, I'm a grown-up bound by responsibilities and duties. The tasks entrusted to me by the General won't complete themselves. By the way, Yanqing, is it normal to have so many people wandering around in an automated area like the Stargazer Navalia?
Actually, this is a restricted area. But since you're all guests, I made an exception, so you could take a look around.
I understand. Well, I'll take my leave. I wish you both the best of luck in the ring tomorrow.
Seriously? I just spent so much time thinking about my dream, but he didn't even ask me.
Now that we're done with our tour of the Sky Splitter, shall we continue with our training?
Why don't we take a day off?
What? You want to secretly practice swordplay by yourself? Dream on.
You know cramming before a fight never works out. For some reason, seeing the Sky Splitter has boosted my confidence. So, I've decided to conserve my strength for tomorrow. Alright, I'll take you out of the Stargazer Navalia.
Just shut up, Red Fang. This is not a beast ship. I need some time to take care of things.
You willingly donned the skin of a lowly beast to join this mission, dedicating yourself to our glorious cause. And now you're telling me you can't handle it? Do you realize how many ships we need?
I'm doing my best, all right? It takes time to figure all this out. When the guns go off tomorrow, all eyes will be on it. That'll be our only chance. How's that? Who's there?
Who are you guys?
An impromptu inspection. Why are there outsiders loitering in Stargazer Navalia? And a bunch of kids at that.
Hey, kids, didn't your parents ever tell you to stay away from the Stargazer Navalia? I know it's an automated facility, but it doesn't mean you can just break in and do what you want.
The fuck this green piece of shit thing? I got no idea what the fuck that is. How many accessories do you have? Hassan, you know why you need to watch all that shit? Do you know why you gotta change your accessories every day?
Right now.
Because there is nothing of substance beneath the surface. I have one accessory.
I want to
and
play
I wear
in
it
Ever
every
Hunt
day.
Plains.
It is this gold chain. I have worn this every day for, I believe, 2.5 years. Because something happened in 2.5 years. It was one of the greatest days of my life. So I got this to sell. It is $6,000. I wear it every single fucking day. However, you, Hassan, have to buy hundreds, thousands of different outfits, clothes, and accessories, and surgeries, and transplants, and chemicals you're all injecting into your body just so nobody understands how little beneath the surface there actually is. It truly is a shame. Guys, we're a hater right now, man. We really are. We are a grade A hater right now.
Look, there was a guy that was even older than me. Yeah. Okay.
Could
and he
you
was like,
repeat
I
what
think
you
he was like a
just said,
magician or
Yamcha?
something.
Awesome.
And he had like crazy.
Oh my God!
What did I say?
And 2 golden rings.
Big sis,
There's
let's
more.
go. I want to play in
Every time he moves, he spawns.
Come on. Can't you read the room? Something is definitely off about the 3 people we just met.
Yeah, anyone could see that. I just wanted to hear you say it again. That pink-haired fox tried to say something. I'm pretty sure he sensed something fishy. Since he's not familiar with this place, he just dropped us a hint. But you didn't seem to be paying attention at all.
I knew that from the beginning.
They said they were doing an overhaul, but it looked like they had no idea how to operate the Starskiff production line, right?
And it's suspicious how they suddenly finished their overhaul and walked away as soon as they laid eyes on us.
A Cloud Knight, a member from the Skyfaring Commission, and a craftsman. They're from various departments, and the reason for the overhaul seems legit. But one of them blurted out some weird language just now. Did you hear that? I have a feeling that if we secretly tail them, we'll definitely catch these guys in the act. Follow my lead, and be careful not to blow our cover.
Never mind who they are. Let's just film them.
We should have just killed those lowly beasts. Those little brats won't take up much space. There are boxes all over this place. Just dump them into one and no one will notice.
Cut the theatrics, Grulok. Even the slightest slip-up could interfere with Lord Moktok's plans.
So where are we heading next?
To check the freight skiffs. We've got a lot of preparations to do. Also, don't forget to take those crates with you. Weapons, supplies. We've got to be well prepared. Otherwise, we're screwed.
So, are they smugglers? What exactly are they up to?
I have no clue, but they seem to be moving those crates. I've got an idea. We can hide inside the crates and follow them.
Ugh, so cramped in here. I can hardly breathe.
Just hang in there.
Let's just put the cargo here for now, all right? Then we'll move on to inspect the ships. Lord Moktok said that as soon as we're done, we're to board the freight skiff and leave this place.
Don't worry, I've changed the shipping schedule. You two, come with me.
Is it just me? I keep smelling that stench of lowly beasts everywhere we go.
Don't be so...
Looks like they're planning to escape on the skiffs in Stargazer Navalia. They keep talking about their plans, but where do they come from? And what do they want to do on the Xianzhou?
They're definitely up to something bad. Wait, they disappeared! Let's catch up to them.
Tread softly. Breathe quietly. And...
Something doesn't smell right. I knew something would look like those brats.
Why are they coming back? Quickly! Looks like they're planning to... They keep talking about...
They're definitely up to... something bad. Wait, they disappeared! Let's catch up to them.
Watch out! They're on high alert! Looks like they're planning to... They keep talking about...
They're definitely...
Did he spot us? Quickly, hide!
Don't be so paranoid. We're running out of time. Get over here!
Shuhard, I'm coming!
They're leaving. We should catch up to them. Quickly! Did he spot us? Quickly, hide! What are they up to? They're all wearing official uniforms, but I'm pretty sure they're not members of the Skyfaring Commission, the Artisanship Commission, or the Cloud Knights. This is way too suspicious.
Never mind who they are. Let's just film them. That way, if they do anything bad, we'll have solid evidence against them.
Look at this. A freight star skiff with enough room to fit at least 20 of my men. I'll let the others know and have them prepare more star skiffs. Once we're past the checkpoint, there will be beast ships waiting for us. Lord Moktok is ready. The revival of our ancient bloodline all hinges on this operation.
What did he just say? Beast ships?
Oh, I got spoiled? Yeah, I got spoiled. But it's okay. I think that's a nothing spoiler, right?
It's those brats!
I think experience.
I told
like
you to
this
get
is
rid of
better
them,
either
but
way,
you
right?
didn't listen, you idiot!
You missed that one? Yeah, I haven't done the Archon quest for 2 patches. This is the first time I've been like holding off because they're not voiced in English. You just mentioned in one sentence? Yeah, so it's not like a major spoiler. Okay. There's a JP version of the video chat? Yeah, there is.
Die!
It's just off screen? Okay, it was a quick find there? Okay.
How familiar.
The JP one hits different. Well, one, if you guys want to listen to the JP version, 2, if no.
Stand still.
I need a minute before the JP version. I need a quick minute.
Relax.
The JP one is much better.
Time to say bye.
Alright, I put it on the side here for us to listen to later.
Waters of oblivion.
Okay? But,
Stand
I need
still.
a quick minute before
I
we
weep for
do
the
that,
departed. It too shall fall.
Where's the best? Okay, so this is Rhine-Daughter, right? So
How
that's
is this
Rhine-Daughter.
How did these Foxians change their appearances
This
like
one
that?
is Renova. This
They're not
one is
Foxians at all.
Istaroth, right?
They revealed their true form. They're Borison.
That's
Just
Istaroth.
like the bandits I defeated on the IPC ship. The IPC ship.
Wait, that means...
Well, how did the Borison manage to infiltrate the Cienjo?
It's not just a simple disguise of wearing our clothing and shaving their whiskers. They're somehow able to alter their appearance to be
You are more worthy than
indistinguishable
I
from
to rescue.
Foxians.
Imagine a world that...
They even have official IDs for the Skyfaring Commission, the Artisanship Commission, and even the Cloud Knights?
The time shenanigans go on free for the longest. Show
Let
me
me
that you
check
are
this
more worthy
fake
than
Cloud
I
Knight's
to rescue
tag.
her. I always
Maybe it'll
thought
give us
that
some
maybe
clues.
He was talking about Asmodee there, you know, the fucking
Blue
corrupted
June,
Heavenly
an
Principles.
officer of the Patrol
Shade
Defense
of
Squad?
space, time,
Wait!
space. So I'm
What's
thinking
the matter?
maybe it could also be.
I encountered a patrol officer named Lu Jun before. It was a few weeks ago when we were transporting the Borison prisoners.
Whose gaze could pierce this far?
They can forge official identities and move around the Cienjo without raising suspicion. Oh no, this is bad.
Even worse. If you find one cockroach on the Express, usually means...
of immortality.
There are more Borison hiding on the Cienjo. I bet their plan is much bigger than just stealing information. We've got to report this to the Seat of Divine Foresight.
Holy shit.
とあなたが私のマスターか。
I'm fine. Evading.
I am glad to finally meet you in person, guests from the Astral Express. I'm Fei Xiao, the general of the Xianzhou Yao Cheng.
Let me introduce our guest to you. The one dressed in green.
He's the reincarnation of Imbibitor Lune, and the person behind him is the newest member of the crew. I've heard a lot about you. Outside the reports from the Law Fu, the Skyfaring Commission of the Yaoqing has also gathered plenty of information about both of you. I've been eager to meet you face to face for reasons that I'm sure General Jing Yuan has explained, right? That's right. But don't worry, this isn't a trial. I just want to have a chat with you and get a better understanding of the facts. According to General Jing Yuan's report, the Ruin Legion is to blame for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, and all Arbiter Generals should pay attention to the Ruin Author's movements. Over the years, the Destruction's minions have wreaked havoc on countless worlds, and the Alliance has been keeping an eye on them. But no one expected them to join hands with the remnants of the Abundance. The damage caused by the Ambrosial Arbor crisis was far less severe than expected, which is good news for us. However, it was quite different from the Ruin Legion's usual style of destroying life wherever they go. While I trust the bravery of the Divine Foresight and the Nameless, I'm curious about some details missing from the report. I'd like to take this chance to have an exchange with both of you. Let me be clear, the questions I'll ask might not reflect my actual thoughts, so please don't take offense if any of my questions seem a bit harsh.
Please go ahead, General. But keep in mind, we can only answer based on what we know. And perhaps you already have the answers to your questions in your heart.
You have a clever tongue. I like it.
예전부터 를 좋아했어요. 무언가를 새롭게 발견하고.
So Merlin's claw is quite articulate. Right now, her intentions are unknown, and Jing Yuan wants us to be honest. Maybe I'll just stick to the facts we know.
Let's cut to the chase. Before the crisis struck, the Astral Express was guided here by a Stellaron hunter, a wanted felon, in an attempt to resolve the Stellaron crisis. However, everyone in the cosmos knows of the Stellaron hunter's reputation. So, why did you place so much trust in them? Could it be that some of you have a connection with them?
머리 피팅을 병행하며 이마의 위치를 잡아주고 헤파쿠라 특유의 각진 라인들은 칼로 깎아줍니다. 그 다음 손사포로 자른 단면을 다듬어줍니다.
Apart from the Law Fu, there are many other worlds suffering from Stellaron corrosion. For example, Eurilo 6, the world that the Express stopped at before reaching the Law Fu, was one of them.
To the Express, Stellarons act as roadblocks on the Silver Rail and pose risks to the warping process. And that's why dealing with Stellaron issues is part of the duty of the Nameless.
Ah, I've heard about those problems caused by Stellarons. The Express connects various worlds, so it makes sense for you to take care of this. The cosmos is a mess, and the Trailblazers are just doing their best to fix it. I understand. Let's move on to the next question. The report suggests that Don Shu, the master of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, colluded with the Lord Ravager and used the power of the Stellaron to resurrect the Ambrosial Arbor. But here's the thing. Don Shu was just a chief alchemist. Even if she colluded with our enemies and summoned the Stellaron, how did she manage to bypass the Videodora guards around the Ambrosial Arbor?
I personally met Don Shu once. Her closest friend was killed during the war on the Fanghu, and she harbored deep hatred towards the Hunt. So she spent years making preparations in the Alchemy Commission in order to take revenge on the Xianzhou.
Revenge is also a form of the Hunt. However, that doesn't explain how she managed to bring the Stellaron into the Scale Gorge waterscape, which was guarded by the Videodora.
Well, you should ask Don Shu herself for the answer.
Unfortunately, Don Shu is dead, and even her corpse has crumbled into ash. That's one less clue we can pursue. Oh. It seems that your answers have addressed all my questions. Generals, I am finished with my questioning.
So, what do you think, General Fei Shao? Have the doubts in the report been cleared up?
The two Nameless have been honest in their answers. Even though there are some tricky details, my intuition tells me there is nothing wrong. However, the 3 questions I posed earlier were not just for the Nameless, but for you too, General Jing Yuan. First, the disciples of Sanctus Medicus grew uninterrupted on the Law Fu, yet the 6 charioteers were not aware of it. That was a dereliction of duty. Second, you believed in the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy and entrusted outsiders to solve the crisis, even granting them access to the Plague Mark. That was a dereliction of responsibility. Third, you insist on holding the war dance right after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, putting the Law Fu back in the spotlight. That is a dereliction of wisdom.
Merlin's Claw. Is this your line of thinking? Or the 10 Lords?
From the moment I walked in, I made it clear that the questions I'd ask might not reflect my actual thoughts.
The disciples of Sanctus Medicus were deeply rooted and had been plotting for a long time. I admit it was my negligence for not noticing it earlier. As for the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy, I didn't believe all of it, but in the end, the Law Fu did survive the Ambrosial Arbor crisis. So, I think it's safe to say that Elio's prophecy about the future holds some merit. And as for the war dance, do you think I'm unaware of the risks? However, risks can also be opportunities. The Law Fu has lain low for too long. I believe it's time to stir up the dregs hidden in the depths and wash them away once and for all.
Just as I expected from our sophisticated divine foresight. You have a way with words. I like it. But, unfortunately, ever since the report was submitted, the Alliance has been filled with rumors and speculation. Even within the Law Fu, there are people accusing you of neglecting your duties, resulting in the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection.
So what are your thoughts on all of this, General Fei Shao?
As a fellow Arbiter General, I fully understand the difficulties of this position. Personally, I think all these rumors are meaningless drivel. Across the sea of stars, the Divine Foresight knows better than anyone else what happened on the Law Fu and the meaning behind it. Just as what happened on the Xianzhou Yaoqing recently.
You mean the Xianzhou Yaoqing is also...
The scouts of the Verdant Knights have sent back reports that Borisin are making trouble again. The Borisin packs that were once divided and scattered have started swallowing each other up, forming larger and larger packs. Moreover, there's an entity named Mongoose
rather than a dirt one. Oh yeah, that's one more thing. For whatever ungodly
According
reason,
to the
if you set her as a
report,
front runner,
this
she just wins.
isn't
I don't know
actually a
why
Borisin.
this is, but it's a little Easter egg in the
It's
game,
a woman
I guess.
claiming to be the
This crushing
messenger
defeat
of the
for
Master
Urara
of
is
Immortality.
devastating to her in the game.
She's described
But
as
in the end,
having
she's happy
12
to even have
faces and 12
participated.
pairs of
So
fangs,
I'm sure it comes as a
as
shock
cruel as
when the next turn
poison,
results
and as elusive as quicksand. The Borisin believe she'll give them a chance to rise again.
Devout following and overall popularity. This is a
That's
direct reflection of
Ventura.
real-life events once again.
That's right.
Although Urara never took home a victory
You're
on
lucky
the track,
that I'm the one
this
who came
racehorse
this
had one of the largest
If
fan
it were the
bases of
Patina
their era.
Justice with the
Remember the
Sears
Tokyo
strategist,
racetrack I mentioned
this
earlier, the one
conversation
where
might
Urara
not be
initially
so
debuted?
friendly.
Well, this underdog attracted a surge of visitors to the track unlike anything
I've always had
before.
faith in my instincts.
3,000
So
people
I don't
gathered
doubt your
outside
good
the
intentions.
racetrack for Urara's final
But the
race into
Alliance has its fair share of
It was such an
questions and
overwhelming
doubts
amount
about
that
the Law
people
Fu.
who ran the track had to open
So,
it early
my
to allow
plan is to
people
come
in.
up with an
In addition,
acceptable
a
answer
total
to
of
satisfy the
13,000
Alliance.
spectators also flocked to
What's
see
in
Urara's
this
final
plan,
race in person.
General
Fans
Fei
not
Shao?
only love this racehorse, but
General
they
Jing
believed
Yuan,
Urara's
you already
abilities
know
firmly.
what has to be done.
A total sum
But
of
since you don't want to be the
121
bad guy,
million yen
I'll take care of
was
it
used
for
to
you.
bet in the favor of
You need the
Urara
final
winning.
word from the
This
Ten Lords
wasn't
Commission to
anything
quell
new
any
either.
doubts.
Fans of Urara would always gather and,
And
bet
for
on
that,
him winning with a
I'll have
small
to
chance
ask
that
the
a
two
miracle could
nameless to
happen.
visit the
A tale of an
Shackling prison.
underdog who never gave up fighting, despite all odds being stacked against
Oh.
them. The embodiment of this endless persistence and dedication to perseverance is personified in a bubbly, energetic Uma who loves racing and gives every competition her all. I was already invested in Urara just by
No,
this little Easter
I'm not
egg, but reading
imprisoning
more
you.
into the history.
I will say,
While
guys,
you're
this
there,
character
I'll
is
ask a
fucking
judge in
adorable.
the Ten Lords Commission's
I
Interrogation
will say,
Division
like,
to
I
record
get
a
it.
detailed
I
testimony
get
with
it.
the karmic
Very
mirror from
bubbly,
both
very
of you.
happy. It's crazy
We'll fill in
how
the gaps that weren't covered in the report and silence any
for
protests
the
within
early
the
phases of
Alliance.
my
I'm okay with that.
life, I was very much into sad, depressed women. And then I realized you become the people you surround yourself with the most. And then I realized I don't want to be sad and depressed. And then the moment I started surrounding myself with happier people, I became happy. And now
Your willingness to help is truly heartwarming, youngsters.
I just cannot stand. I cannot stand miserable fucking people, bro. If you are a miserable person,
Ben,
I just don't fuck with you at all, bro.
as the Merlin-
it is just so
there's-
annoying.
So,
History of what inspired her.
you
It
are
is
here
not
for
that
Hule.
hard to smile,
Exactly.
bro. It's really not.
Hule is
Only
locked
made
up
me
in the
more
Law
dedicated
Fu's
to
shackling
win.
prison.
I swear
Since
to
he
you,
is the
there is a
brood lord of the
fucking way to win the
Borisin,
Arima
I want
Keenan,
to transfer
and I
him
will
onto
make
the
a
Xianzhou
goddamn video on it
Yaoqing
when I'm
and
able to
imprison
beat it.
him there.
This little bean deserves
The
the
recent
absolute
movements
world,
of the
and I hope
Borisin
this video
suggest they're
encourages all
planning
of you to
something
race her
big.
too.
So
If
we
I find
must
any more
act
interesting
preemptively.
topics like this in the Moose,
Shit,
It
maybe
makes
I'll
sense
race her
to have
too.
a
We'll forget that. I'm
Foxians
gonna
keep
puke
an
on
eye
that
on
one
their
time.
arch nemesis.
Rest in peace, Roger. Who's Roger?
Since you trust my judgment, I'll repay
Hold up.
that trust.
Skill check.
What do you think about all this,
Okay.
General?
Who's Roger? Is this Roger?
I was worried this would turn into a heated argument. It seems like both of you are on the same page, solving each other's problems. I couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
And as for Hule, I'll send my lieutenants Jiao Cho and Moza to check on his condition in prison and ready him for transport.
Why would you show me that?
If there are no more questions,
No,
shall we get this
why
started?
would you just ruin my whole fucking day by showing me that? Why did you show me that? That's fucking just really sad. Why would you link me like that sad? Anissa full throwing iDubbbz under the bus, then saying
I'm really sorry about all this. But the testimony in the shackling prison won't take up much of your time. I'll call for a messenger to take you to the interrogation division. You just need to give your testimony, and then you can head back.
As you wish, General.